That little plastic PCV valve on your engine, the one you've never touched? When it clogs up, it turns your crankcase into a pressure cooker, and I've watched it push oil straight past a rear main seal on a truck with 60,000 miles. 60,000. The owner thought he needed a $1,200 seal job. He needed an $11 part and 10 minutes. I'm Mike Reyes. 18 years inside Ford, GM, and Stellantis, and I'm going to tell you something the service writer won't. Half the oil leaks that roll into a dealership aren't failed gaskets. They're failed ventilation. And today, you're going to check yours with nothing but your hand and your ears. Here's the first piece of the puzzle you need to understand. Every time a cylinder fires, a little bit of combustion gas sneaks past the piston rings. We call it blowby. It's normal. Even a brand new engine does it. That gas ends up in the crankcase, down where your oil lives, and it's nasty stuff, unburned fuel, water vapor, acids. If it just sits there, two things happen. Pressure builds, and the oil starts turning into sludge, this black mayonnaise that coats everything. The PCV valve, positive crankcase ventilation, is a one-way check valve that lets the intake manifold vacuum pull those gases out of the crankcase and burn them in the engine. One moving part. A spring and a little plunger inside a plastic housing. That's it. When it works, your engine breathes. When it plugs up with sludge, the pressure has nowhere to go. So it goes looking for the weakest exit. Valve cover gasket, front crank seal, rear main seal, oil pan gasket. The pressure doesn't care which one, it'll find the cheapest rubber in the engine and shove oil right through it. I saw this play out in a durability lab around 2009. We had a test engine weeping oil from 3 places at once, and 2 engineers spent a day chasing gaskets before an old-timer named Walt reached over, pulled the PCV valve out of the valve cover and shook it next to his ear. Nothing. Dead silence. Packed solid. He held it up and said, "Your engine's been holding its breath for 10,000 miles. Replaced the valve, cleaned up, leaks never came back." That shake is the whole test, and I'll walk you through it in a second. But first, the part nobody tells you, why this got worse on modern engines. Direct injection engines and turbo 4 cylinders run more blow-by and hotter crankcase temps than the old port-injected V6s. Add long oil change intervals, people stretching synthetic to 10, 12,000 miles, and you've got the perfect sludge factory. That 2.4 in a 2014 Equinox? Notorious. The valve is built into the intake manifold on some of those, and when it sticks, the engine starts drinking its own oil, a quart every 1,000 miles. GM knew. There's a reason that engine has a special coverage bulletin. Now pay attention, because this is the part you're actually going to do this weekend. Pop your hood with the engine cold. Find the valve cover, the top of the engine. Look for a rubber hose, usually 3/4 inch, running from the valve cover to the intake manifold or the air intake tube. Follow it. On most cars, the PCV valve sits right where that hose meets the valve cover, either pressed into a rubber grommet or threaded in. Your owner's manual or a 30-second search with your exact year and engine will nail the spot. Pull the hose off, twist the valve out, and shake it next to your ear. You should hear a sharp rattle, click, click, click. That's the plunger moving free. That's a healthy valve. If you shake it and hear nothing, or some muffled mushy half rattle, it's full of sludge and it's done. Don't try to clean it with carb cleaner. The spring's already fatigued, and the $10 isn't worth the gamble. Replace it. While you're in there, squeeze the hose. If it's spongy, collapsed, or cracked, replace that too, because a collapsed PCV hose does the exact same damage as a clogged valve. Second trick, engine running. Pull the valve out with the hose still attached and put your finger over the end. You should feel steady vacuum tugging at your fingertip, and the idle might stumble a little. No vacuum? The valve or the hose is blocked, or you've got a vacuum problem upstream. And here's what it costs you to ignore this. A stuck closed valve builds pressure and starts the leaks. A stuck open valve leans out the idle, throws a PRO1 and 71 code, and can pull oil vapor into the intake, fouling spark plugs and gunking the intake valves on a direct injection engine. Either way, you're burning oil, and low oil on a turbo engine is how you score a bearing. I've seen a $9 valve take out a $3,000 turbocharger. That's the math the dealer never writes on the estimate. Most engines want this valve checked every 30,000 miles and replaced somewhere between 50 and 60. It's not in a lot of maintenance schedules anymore because it makes the schedule look longer. Doesn't mean the part stopped wearing out. So here's your job. Go out to your car today, find that PCV valve, pull it, and shake it. Then come back here and tell me in the comments your year, your engine, and rattle or no rattle. If yours was dead silent, tell me the mileage too. I'm building a list of the worst sludge offenders, and I'll reply to everyone who actually does the test. Your engine wants to exhale. Let it.